Hello my friends and fellow survivors, welcome to a brand new playthrough of one of the best survival games out there. This is The Long Dark, and I'm going to see if I have what it takes to play on the hardest difficulty, which is Interloper. I think I've worked my way up to being able to survive this extreme challenge, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a go. I hope you'll come along with me and share in the hype and excitement of a brand new playthrough as we begin. So let's go ahead and start a brand new game. We're doing Interloper. If you're new to this, guys, welcome. You're in for a real treat. The Long Dark is such an incredible game, and I will be your guide. We'll kind of be playing this together, and I'll give you information as we go, kind of explaining things. Interloper is considered the hardest difficulty that you can actually survive. Misery is actually, nobody gets out alive at that one. You eventually just die. Interloper, it is for expert players looking for the ultimate wilderness survival challenge. That is us. So we start with the most minimal resources, and we have to craft everything that we need in order to survive. We're not going to be able to find guns. We can't even find knives or hatchets. We got to craft those. Additionally, the world is going to become more hostile the longer we survive, and it's going to get colder and colder. But already we're going to be freezing because we only start really with like a t-shirt and jeans and no matches. So it's going to be tough. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We do have a choice here, male or female. It's really just up to preference. I do like the sound effects of the female a little better. When she gets tired, she's not quite as noisy. Other than that, they are identical in gameplay, really, other than just the sound effects. Okay, so we do have the option of selecting two bonuses. These are called feats that we've earned just from playing the game for a long time. So I have worked my way up to achieve some feats. We can only activate two on the hardest difficulty here. So we can choose, I'm going to pick this one, which is Efficient Machine. It gives us a little bit more calories from our food, 10% more calories, really. And then the one next to it just gives us a 2-degree bonus in air temperature. Which could potentially help if we are freezing cold indoors. It might just warm it up enough that we can rest. So it could save our life early on. But as the game, like I said, as it gets longer, if we survive longer, the world just gets colder and colder. So that's quickly going to be obsolete. But early game, it might just help us out. So let's go ahead and confirm. We're going to deactivate the cougar on this one. Name of this one is going to be 9 Lives because I just lost the last game I played to a cougar. And hopefully I've got some lives left in me. So let's go ahead and try a brand new playthrough, guys. Please take a minute, press the hype, press the like. Let's get excited about a brand new survival run. Let's go. Okay, right away we are going to be starting at a random location, random time of day, and random weather pattern. Trick is going to be for me to get somewhere safe and warm. Also, I have to kind of figure out where we are to begin with. And I don't know where we are. Oh, wait. Are we by the... We are in Desolation Point. Wow, okay. I think that's where we are. We're in Desolation Point right by the mine. So I'm going to quickly grab some resources here, like rocks. And I'm going to try to explain things as we go a little bit. So immediately you can see in the bottom left corner, we've got those 4 circles. And you have arrows going up or down on those. The first circle you see is going to be our temperature, which is plummeting quickly because we are freezing cold. I got 3 arrows going down, so I've got to get somewhere warm quickly if I can. Otherwise, I'm going to take damage. In a minute, I'm going to show you what our character looks like because I'm actually going to try to run into a little mine. It's going to be too dark to explore, but hopefully it will be just a little bit warm. And we may actually find some resources just at the mouth of this mine. So this should be fun, guys. I do enjoy Desolation Point. It is kind of a dead end. And we're going to have to get out of here pretty soon. But, while we're here, I mean, let's have some fun, right? We've got good visibility. Time of day, it looks like it's about noon. So we actually have good starting time and weather. It's actually a little bit lucky. So we've made our way to a mine right here. Let's go inside. So we are barely warm. As you can see now, we've got an arrow going up. This mine is too dark for me to actually explore. I can turn around and I can see the entrance. Once I get about this far, I really can't see much, but I will kind of poke around a little bit to see if I can find some coal on the ground. We need to come back here if we can find some kind of light source, like a match or a flare or something. We can actually come back to this mine and possibly find some loot. I will take the scrap metal. It's not going to be useful anytime soon, but it could be useful later on.
I think I can use this.
That fuse is not going to help us. I will take it. We'll drop it somewhere safe. Okay, really, that is it? We don't even have coal or anything. I could possibly break down this crate for some firewood, but I don't need to. So let me take a minute and say hello to you guys and introduce you to our character. This is Astrid. That's what we call her. So, yeah, we don't have a hat. We don't have a jacket. We do have a hoodie. Not even a t-shirt, guys. We don't even have a t-shirt. We do have underwear, which I'll show you here. So that's permanent, her underwear. So... we do have pants, thermal underwear, socks, and shoes. That is it. So we are at risk for frostbite immediately because our skin is exposed. So that's one problem I have to watch out for. And then another problem is going to be hypothermia. So the longer I stay out there, the colder we're going to get. We could eventually get hypothermia and die, of course. So here is our inventory. We just have, other than the clothing that you saw, we do have a tin can that is empty. If we find matches, we can use that essentially just for boiling water or cooking some, you know, like some berries or something that we might find as we're exploring. Otherwise, we did find these old man beard lichen, which can be made into a antiseptic bandage if we get bit by a wolf or a bear or something. And other than that, we got the rocks and sticks. So we're really just super duper exposed. As we're walking, I'll explain the other three circles and the bar at the bottom. So let's go ahead and leave the mine here. So I don't want to let the beautiful clear weather go to waste. Even though we're freezing cold, we do have good visibility. So I'm going to just press on. It's super important that we find somewhere safe to spend the night where we're actually going to be warm. And there needs to be some kind of bed. I can't just curl up and sleep anywhere. There has to be some kind of bedroll or bed. And I'm hoping at some point we'll actually find a sleeping bag we can take with us. We can sleep wherever we want. We may still be, you know, I can't technically sleep wherever I want. I'll probably freeze to death if I just curl up anywhere, but... Alright, so the other circles at the bottom of the screen. So we've got the temperature you already saw. Then we've got the tired meter. Shows us how exhausted we are. Then we've got the hydration, which is the water drop symbol. Got to make sure that we are hydrated at all times, or else we'll start taking damage. And then the last one is hunger, or calories. So if we let any of those drop to 0, then we'll start taking damage. So I gotta
find some place to escape this cold.
really have to balance those. I'm just gonna kind of peek over here. There can be wolves in this area, so I don't want to go too far. As far as we know, guys, we are the last person alive. So really any buildings we come across or vehicles, they're all abandoned. Yeah, so it's kind of a dreary world. We're essentially pitted against nature, but we do have the occasional man-made items that we can interact with and try to get resources from. The wildlife in this game, they are kind of attack on sight.
So I just want to lay down for a bit.
Okay, so we've just hit the super cold mark. Now we're freezing. Our clothing is doing no good to us. We're just completely freezing now. And we are beginning a hypothermia path. So if we don't get warm soon, we're actually going to acquire an affliction called hypothermia. It comes with its own set of problems, which eventually leads to death, of course. So we're going to try to avoid that. As I was saying, the wildlife here, is pretty much attack on sight, at least the predators. The other animals are just fine. We got rabbits, we got deer, we got moose. The moose actually are attack on sight as well, and probably deadlier than the bear and more deadly than the wolves, just because they will stomp you. I don't know if they think you kidnapped their baby or something, their baby moose. But they are, oh man, you can see, got our first glimpse of the lighthouse straight ahead in the center of the screen. One of my favorite locations in the entire world is going to be that lighthouse. It's not a particularly good place for a base location, but just the views you get in this game. And at night, on occasion, there is an Aurora Borealis, which does somehow affect all the electronics in this world. And the lighthouse will actually light up. It's pretty amazing. Okay, we did see a little rabbit here. I'm going to try to sneak up on him. And we're going to take him out. If I can get him. Come on. I couldn't grab him, so I tried to throw a rock again. For some reason, it was a little buggy there, even though I was pointed right at it. You got to like select it just right, or else they can get up. They're just stunned for a moment. So we're actually going to try that again. Alright, come on, rabbit. Please don't be bugged. Oh, come on. Kind of frustrating, actually, but that is part of the game. I'll try it one more time. I just have to get my little icon just right on him to pick him up. Alright, third time's a charm. Come on. There we go. Okay, now we are smelly a little bit. When I picked him up, in fact, I'm going to drop him. Okay, so when I pick him up, in the top center of the screen, you're going to see 3 lines. And it's going to be highlighted one of those lines. You see that? Those 3 lines? So that is our smell meter, how attractive we are to wolves. We're actually sending out a scent now that can be picked up by predators. And the more scent you have, the farther away they are attracted to you. So we're going to drop the rabbit in here. We may end up harvesting him here. At this point, I'm just really looking for any way of lighting matches or lighting fires. Got a crate. Got some lantern fuel there. If we find a lantern, we can fill it up with that fuel. Or, you know, we could use that fuel to make a torch. This is another option we have. There's really not much loot here. Got a piece of coal. If I had a pry bar or a crowbar, we could try to pry open this this locker here. But I will tell you guys, on this difficulty, the amount of loot we find is going to be pretty small. So not much loot available. I could go further into the mine, but it gets dark rather quickly. I'm looking for any coal I can just grab. Coal is actually very useful, but honestly, guys, it's just going to get too dark. So I got to go back. So I think I mentioned that we don't start... well, actually, in this entire world, you're never going to find a knife or a hatchet, an axe. However, you can find a hacksaw, which we could actually use to break down metal items like this shelf. Once you have scrap metal, you can actually, if you have a heavy hammer, you can go to a special forge and craft your own knife and hatchet. This area that we find ourselves in.
Too cold to think.
So this part of the map is called Desolation Point, and this has the unique quality, I guess you could say. There actually is a forge here. If we had a heavy hammer. Now, I'm pretty sure that they... Oh, I can hear a wolf up ahead. We are smelly, so I'm attracting wolves. I'm going to drop our rabbit in the church. I probably should just drop it now. Oh, I can hear a wolf. Let's drop this rabbit here. I can't hear a wolf. I think he killed the other rabbit. Yep, there he is, guys. I'm going to try to hurry and scare him. Right, get out of here. There is another rabbit, actually. Man, I do need matches. So, I was able to scare that wolf because he was already preoccupied with the rabbit. Alright, let's see if we can get this guy. I'm going to drop him immediately. Just because I don't want to attract that wolf again. He will attack me. If he comes back, he's going to attack me. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to grab the rabbit he was eating. We're going to grab it and then grab this one. And then run. I'm going to run all the way back here. And drop them with this other rabbit. Okay, so now we got 3 rabbits. No way to cook them at the moment. And we are taking cold damage, of course. Let's take a look. I'll show you. We are on our way to hypothermia. So we really need to find a way to get warm quickly.
Nobody needs this anymore.
Got a book about shooting. And more lantern fuel. Okay, that book about shooting is not going to help us to level up our skills because, as I mentioned, there's no guns in this game. So it's really not going to help us. No matches. I can't believe it, guys. We're not finding any way to start a fire. So I actually just have to keep going. I am not going to shoot. Okay, I'm going to leave these guys here, but I need to drop them from my inventory. Like that. It's going to keep the wolves away from them. I'm not going to bring them with me because they're going to attract the wolves. I just need to get to safety, probably to that lighthouse. Oh gosh. Hey, Wolfie. So he's going to run up and try to get to me. Maybe. He's running off. Okay, good. I'm going to take this opportunity to just try to run past him. So we're going to leave the rabbits behind because, as I said before, they are smelly. They're going to attract unwanted attention. Come on, just pick up the stick. Okay, this is not good. There might be more wolves there. So if he charges me, I'm in trouble. I'm actually going to run if he starts to charge. But really, I just have to make my way to that lighthouse for safety. As long as I don't throw something at him, try to provoke him, he should keep a distance. He's going to follow us. I don't think he's going to cross the bridge. We should be okay up here. Yeah, I think he's going to stop at the bridge. Alright guys, well, we kind of have a safe place to go now. We don't have any food or water. But at least I think it will be warm in the lighthouse, I hope. And we might be able to find some matches. This is going to be super tricky to try to stay alive here. I'm going to come up here and grab some of these rose hips. Every little calorie that I can get is going to potentially save my life here. But in order to actually use those, I have to harvest them into like a, you know, I'm going to grab these. You have to actually harvest them into some like little shavings that you can cook into a tea. I'm going to look down here really quick just to see if there's any loot. No loot. Okay, so we're going to go back up. The loot is just so extremely scarce right now. Okay, welcome to the Lonely Lighthouse. I'm curious what the ambient temperature is, so it feels like 1 degree. Air temperature is -2. Guys, so with that little bonus that we started with, we're actually warm. So that is incredible. Just barely warming up, which essentially means we're not taking damage. So yeah, that little bonus is pretty important in my opinion. Okay, we've got some firewood. Ooh, we've got some oats.
This'll come in handy.
If we had a way to cook them, we could get some calories. Got some running shoes, which are those better than our current shoes? So our current shoes are 58% condition. These new ones are 71% condition. So we're going to swap. And now we can begin to loot, look around. Maybe we can find some matches. Or even just like a distress flare or something. A road flare. Really, any way to start a fire is gonna help us out. Alright, we're gonna go up into the lighthouse, upper area. I gotta make sure I look in all the little places where things can hide. There's a note somebody left behind if you want to read that. So there really is no story to this. We make our own story as we go. We kind of just are encountering the world that was left behind, you know, the world that other people have inhabited.
What have we here?
I don't know what our story is. We've just kind of appeared. Okay, so there we just found some oil. What else do we find? Some dog food. And here we have one of the really nice items in the game, emergency stim. It does give you a burst of energy and a little bit of health. It's really just like it says though, it's just for emergencies. You don't want to just pop that anytime. Okay, nothing under the bed, but hey, we got a bed. That's something, right? No predators inside this little lighthouse. We got a safe place to sleep. Okay, we've got some spray paint.
Can use this.
Can use that to kind of help map, I guess. Got some Polaroid film. I've never had a chance to use those before. Might be fun to try to figure that out. And we got a locked locker. Some boxes we can break down. Ooh, some chips.
This'll come in handy.
It's our first real calories. Oh, what was that? Somebody's recipe they left on the stairs. Coastal fish cakes. Okay. Crispy cakes of fish, traditional style. Salty. Sounds delicious. All right, let's go up to the top. Personally, I do tend to prefer savory food over like sweet food.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
Okay, that book is actually pretty good. We can read it later on to level up our sewing skill. It's got some fog rolling in. It's going to obscure our view. And we are back to being cold again. Alright, no matches.
Freezing.
So we really can't stay here. We got to keep pushing on until we find some way of making fire. Because, guys, we really need drink. We need water, hydration, especially if we're going to sleep tonight. And any water that we try to make, we got to boil it so we don't get sick. The exception to that is if we find a toilet that is still has water in the tank. Apparently that is safe to drink. I don't recommend drinking the stuff in the bowl, but you can actually drink the you can drink the stuff in the tank above the bowl. All right, so I think we're going to go. It might be worth waiting a little bit just to warm up because we are increasing our hypothermia risk. But I kind of want to just press on to save daylight, so we're actually going to just keep going. Once it gets dark... Ooh, kind of a loud noise. I think that's the... Is that the icicles? Anyway, we're going to push on.
If I don't warm up soon.
Yes. We are pushing on because we have to find matches. Just going to come down the rocks here. There can be a moose down here that will attack if it sees this. It's often on these rocks. There's also a bear that likes to come over this way. I'm going to run a little bit. We're going to check. There should be like a little truck over here under the bridge. I don't see the moose, so that might be a good sign. We're going to check the truck and then make our way over to a shipwreck on the ice. Kind of hard to see, but there actually is a ship on the ice that we're going to try to go inside. Okay, I can hear the wolves up above us. There also could be a moose up here. Oh, I hear something. Might be the moose up above us. I think it is the moose, guys. But it's run off. Got a message. Memento with a survival hint. Please look for your brother and his friends. I don't know what to do. Okay, there's a little secluded area on the map. Okay, I don't think we'll find anything back here. I will look though. Maybe there's a cattail or something. Are there any cattails? No cattails. Alright, let's get out of here. We're gonna make our way to the shipwreck. I am gonna use the spray paint, actually. Let's just spray this truck. We've already searched it. It does show up on the map now. Kind of a cool aspect of the spray paint is it does mark the map. As long as the visibility is good, you can actually get it to show up. I'm going to grab sticks as we go. Sticks are one of the few renewable resources in the game. A lot of the other items, once you harvest them, they are gone. Like those little rose hips. Those are a limited supply. Okay, straight ahead there is a whale processing factory for whales. Actually, they haul the whale carcasses up there and cut them up, and we are going to make our way over there. But first we're going to check this shipwreck. I don't have a lot of hope that we're going to be warm inside, but we'll check it out. Yeah, we're cold. Okay, so we got to hurry. Got a scarf. Let's put that on immediately. Check the body. I actually have to be pretty quick about this. Oh, got some lag there. I need to be quick about this just because we are not warm in here. It's just like a refrigerator or freezer. All this metal sucking the heat out of us. Okay, is there anything over here we can search? No. Alright, let's go back this way into the heart, into the belly of the beast. It's going to be a little dark. Can't see very much. So, once we search the shipwreck, we're going to try to run over to the whale processing plant. Might be where we spend the night, actually. Okay, nothing over here. Back this way, we do have the... this is the forge. This is where we could actually craft some tools, like the knife. Got a little bit of coal there. Okay, so if we were able to get a fire started, and if we had the knife... Sorry, and if we had the heavy hammer, we could actually craft a knife or a hatchet. But... intentionally, I think they've made it so you never find the hammer in the same place where there's a forge. We actually have to leave this territory if we hope to find the hammer. Okay, we got a bed here. We could warm up. But even perhaps more precious than the warmth is the daylight. So we got to take advantage of the daylight. Is that a thermos? Hey, nice.
Take it.
Got an insulated flask. That actually is a really good item. Okay, I'm going to hurry a little bit because we're cold. On our way to getting hypothermia. Going to check the captain's... I don't know, what would you call this? The helm? Okay, we've got a scrawled message. No ship came, no use to me where I'm going, I'll leave it to you. Okay. So there's a little lockbox, and they left the key for us. We're actually going to head over there right now. Assuming that the bear is not going to be blocking our way. We're going to kind of drop off. There is a bear that likes to come around.
Almost anything about now.
Yeah, we're thirsty. Gotta be careful of the bear. How many rocks do I have? 5. Rocks aren't going to help us with this bear, but I do like to know how many rocks I have. Okay, it appears the coast is clear, literally. Let's check our hypothermia risk. Ooh, it's climbing up there. We gotta hurry. I have to get indoors and warm up right away. Okay, this can be a little tricky because I'm heading up to where there can be a bear and wolves. You can already see the bones of the whale, last whale that they harvested. We're gonna keep our ears open for any predators. Kind of hard to hear with the waves though. Hibernia processing. Okay, I crouched down there because I didn't quite know what to expect. We're going to run over here because this is where the lockbox is. On this train. Okay, right here, maybe. Here's our lockbox from the helm of the ship.
This will come in handy.
Got some marine flares. Okay, let's get inside. And I do hope we are warm. Oh, thank goodness. So the well processing plant is slightly warm. Let's take a look here. Air temperature is -3. It feels like 1 degree with probably with the scarf we just picked up and the ambient temperature bonus that we got. Got some batteries here. I'm gonna just pull them out into the open. I don't know if we'll ever actually need these. And we've got some looting to do. This is going to be fun because we're actually warm. We're warming up. And now we have a way to make a fire with those flares. Don't really have much by way of calories. We just have the potato chips and some dog food and some beans. I wonder, did I happen to pick up some mushrooms? No. So the problem I'm facing right now is I don't have many calories. And the condition of some of this food isn't that great. So 69% on this can of dog food. There's a chance if I eat that I could get sick. So I need to keep my eyes out for some mushrooms growing on some tree stumps. Because if I get sick from food poisoning, those mushrooms can actually negate the food poisoning and kind of cure me in addition to sleeping. So, okay, I've got to keep a close eye on all the little nooks and crannies. Looks like there's something back there. What is that? Is that a shelf and a box? It's going to be a little tricky to get back there. I wonder if I can do this. So we're in the customization mode. Nice, we can get back here. There's nothing in there though. I will take, you know what, I'm going to grab that. Let's grab this box, we'll bring it somewhere a little more accessible because we can actually use that for storage. I'm going to put that there for now. I'm going to tidy up a little bit. Okay. Let's check back here. Don't know if there's actually anything up here. Nothing back there. Okay. We're going to move these boxes. See if there's anything in this area. There's a backpack. Nice. Got some beef jerky and some chips. That could just help us make it through the night. I think it's getting dark. So we can check the time in the top right corner. The sun is at the horizon is setting.
I'm doing just about anything right now.
The moon is coming up. So pretty soon here we're going to be out of daylight. Just going to keep looking. Hopefully I can get this looted before it gets too dark to see. Got some cedar. Cedar firewood. Such a strange smell in here. Got another car battery. I don't think that's particularly useful to us. Oh man, look at our health. I think that's because we're thirsty. I need to get a fire started and get some water right away. I will look one more place before we get a fire started. I want to look up here. If I can get over there. There may be some matches. I'm hoping. I don't know. Maybe I should just go for it. We should just get a fire started because I am taking damage from thirst. Let's just get a fire. So we're gonna light a flare. Gonna use a flare to start a fire here. Take some charcoal as well. All right, let's go. Oh, do I not have any tinder? I don't have any tinder. I should have waited. Shoot. This is bad, guys. I really hope my flare doesn't go out here. Please don't go out. Alright, look how close our flare is to going out. We have a 60% chance of success. I may have to use 2 flares because I didn't prepare in advance. And we failed. Start again.
Come on,
let's go.
Flare.
Okay, I can't fail this or I gotta use another flare. Yep, we failed.
Work?
Totally my fault because I did not have tinder already prepared. We're gonna get some prepared this time. So early on, until we figure out how to make fires, we've got to have tinder plugs and stuff. So we're down to 2 flares. That was a bad mistake. These blue flares don't last hardly at all. They go out so quickly. The benefit of the blue flares, though, is that they do keep away the timber wolves. No, timber wolves and Aurora wolves, actually, I think. Nice. Okay, we're successful that time. Let's add some fuel. throw that. We're going to use our little tin can. No, come on. Water, select, cook. Okay, we're going to call that good. And now we're going to cook the bad water. Let's drink that little sliver of water. We're just going to do little slivers of water at the moment, like little tiny, tiny bits. Let's add some fuel. Okay, I'm going to start pulling torches. In the future, instead of using a flare, I can just... Well, actually, I do need the flare because we don't have matches. I forgot about that. If we get matches, I can just light a torch. And the torch is going to burn longer than that blue flare. So I want to make sure we have plenty of torches. These are also going to help us get through the mine. Okay, let's call that good on the water. Now so we just made some bad quality water. Like we melted the snow. Now it's nasty water that will make us sick. So now we're actually just going to boil this water. It's going to take 9 minutes. Let's add some fuel.
I need some water.
I should also drop our food that we have to cook. So we're going to smash open the pork and beans. It'd be nice if I had a can opener, because you actually lose calories. If you smash open a can, you're not able to use the can as a container, and you lose a little bit of the contents. So maybe I will wait and see if we can find a can opener. Okay, we did get a little bit of boiled water there. So let's just keep going with the water, so we don't keep taking damage from being thirsty. Okay, while that is boiling, I am going to have a look around. Yeah, it's gotten dark. There's a safe back here. Another battery. These batteries, technically, I think we can trade for... If we come across the trader, we can trade, but we don't technically know about the trader yet, so I'll have to discover that later on. First number's 40. 40, it looked like about 17 is the next number. $40, 19, 40, 19. $40, 19, 57 maybe. 40, 19, 57.
I think I can use this.
Got some accelerant and some maple syrup. Okay. Could be worse. Could be just a pile of money that is pretty much useless. Got 18 minutes until the water boils. Got a note left behind. You can read that if you like. We got a red flare.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
Yes. Not quite as good as matches. Good thing about the flares is that they don't blow out in the way that torches can blow out in the wind. So if we encounter a wolf or something, we need to protect ourselves, we can actually use a flare. But that is assuming that we don't need the flare to start a fire. So let's get a new torch here. Quickly look around here. I think our water might be done here pretty soon. I want to go down there and check on it. Well, you can see, guys, the loot is just so incredibly small. I'm going to check under the beds. Got some Polaroid film. I'm going to move the bed. Let's just see if there's anything under it. Okay, I don't see anything. Got some candy bars. Nice. Got a candy bar. I think I should go check on our water. I'll just finish looting this room, and then we will go down and check on the water. Well, we're not dead yet. Ooh, we might be having an Aurora. You can see the light coming out the window there. There might be an Aurora tonight. Let's check on our water. Water is done. Okay. Let's see what I can cook, actually. Can I cook only the pork and beans? Oh, okay. Let's do more water. If I could find a pot or a pan, we could cook some of the oatmeal that we have. I think you actually need the pot for the oatmeal.
I've never been so hungry in my life.
Yeah, pretty soon here we're going to take damage from being hungry. Looks like we found a brochure on archery. It's probably more than a brochure, like a paperback magazine maybe.
I'll take it.
Got some chips. Tomato soup. 22% condition though. That's it's not very good. Got a book. Really, we need matches. Got some salt. Oh no, guys. I feel a pun coming on. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys, but we've got a salt and battery right here. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Ooh, matches.
I'll take it.
Okay, that is huge. And we do have an Aurora. You can see the electricity is coming on. This would be a very bad time to travel. The wildlife goes bonkers, crazy, almost like rabies when there's an Aurora outside. They can detect you much, much farther away, and they're not scared by torches. And they sound super creepy. If you hear the wolves howl during an Aurora, they sound like they have a vocoder hooked to their vocal cords or something. Okay, I'm going to take the newsprint. I can harvest that into tinder plugs. I think I just heard the electricity come on. Yeah. Electricity is on, so you have to be careful of live wires. If there's any wires on the ground, they can actually be electrically charged and cause us some real harm. Smells even worse up here. Smells like something died. Oh, something did die.
I think I can use this.
I bet he was hiding from the Aurora wolves. Got a torch. And a granola bar. Okay, let's get back to our fire. You just walk down the pipes.
Surrounded by snow and nothing to drink.
Okay, I do need to remember to go up there. Let's check on our water first. Did it boil off? No. Okay, perfect. Water, we're just going to keep it coming. Got 33 minutes left on the barrel. Let's add a piece of reclaimed wood. So we might have to sleep in the bunk beds tonight. I consider myself very lucky to be this far. Like we've kind of made it through the hardest part. It's like the first like 20 days are the hardest part, but like the first few hours are really critical. Okay, that coffee is actually really good. It's going to be a burst of energy. Dang it, somebody ate the MRE. Let's check over here first, and then we'll check the roof. Got some painkillers. Now somebody has a secret stash up here. It looks like it's been looted. We do have some tomato soup.
Nobody needs this anymore.
That's about it. Okay. I think we have thoroughly checked everything. I may have missed an item here or there. What is that? Like that? A little fuse? But for the most part, I think we got all the obvious stuff. Wait, is there something back there? Okay, we got 42 minutes left on the fire, 16 on the water. We're going to craft some rose hips, I think, which can be made into a tea. Take the water, and now we're going to cook some of the tea. Okay, let's add some fuel. Piece of cedar. I've got some low quality torches here. We can actually drop that. The torches that burn out we can actually make into sticks. So I'm going to do that because we're getting kind of short on sticks. And we've got some torches that are not very good quality. So while we're waiting for the water to boil, we're going to actually harvest up some of these. Okay, water is done. Oh, tea, the tea is done, I mean. Let's do some more water. Can't have too much water.
Thirsty, I can't think straight.
Only have 1.25 liters. There we go. Let's see. I do want to get better quality torches.
I need something to eat.
So we're going to take damage now from being hungry. It just never ends. You can see we're at 1/4 of our life now. Probably hovering on being dead, really. But we're going to sleep here pretty soon, and we will regain some of our health back. We got a few minutes on the water. I really need to get to bed here as soon as I can, so I think when we're done with this water, we might actually go to sleep. I actually need to be able to sleep for 10 hours. I don't think I'm tired enough for that yet. But I don't want to take damage from being hungry. Okay, these are actually good torches. If they're above 30%, I consider them good quality. And we even have a 100% torch here somewhere. Yeah, that one we found. Okay, let's check the time on our water. 16 minutes. Should be enough to harvest some old man's beard. Yep. So we're going to craft this into the antiseptic wound dressing. Okay, water's done. Let's add some fuel. I'm thinking of doing something kind of crazy, guys. In the morning, I think I'm going to go into the wolf's cave and face the wolf. As long as we don't have an Aurora. If we can have some torches lit, we actually could face the wolf, I think. Okay, 22 minutes left on the barrel. I still don't think we're tired enough to sleep yet. I don't really have anything else to craft. If I could find some cloth, we could actually make some bandages. And did I end up finding a sewing kit? I think I did. Seems like I found one, but maybe not. No, I haven't found one yet. If we can find a sewing kit, we could actually make some gloves. So we did, technically, we have a way to protect our head. We found this scarf, very low quality, but it is technically preventing frostbite on our head. But our hands are still unprotected. Okay, 13 minutes left. I am going to add some more fuel, I think. 19 minutes. Let's add this piece of cedar. We're going to take a torch and go check outside. In fact, I'm going to save this torch. Let's see what our lowest quality torch is. We'll use this one. I'm very carefully going to check outside because there can be an Aurora bear that kind of walks around out there, so we're going to just very carefully and cautiously check outside. And we've got the Aurora. Yes. I'm going to crouch. So we're trying to avoid the bear, but also I want to search here. And that is locked. Okay. That's as bold as I'm feeling right now. There are other places we could check, but I'm just going to get back inside. Okay, I think let's take those.
I'm not gonna be able to carry this load for much longer.
And let me just make sure I didn't miss any cloth somewhere. By the way, we can check the computer during an Aurora if you want. If you're not sensitive to flashing lights, we can check it. If you are, this is your warning. I'm going to click on the computer. It does flash a little bit. I'll tell you when we're done, so you can look away now. So we've got a buffer memory. Oh, it's even added to our journal. I just landed at Great Bear Island. Deep Wild flew me out from the mainland by float plane. Should be quite the trip. Remember, I'll be out of reach for the next 2 weeks. If it's all they promised, I'll be a new man when I get back. Well, I'm afraid he probably never made it back because the apocalypse happened. So I'm moving super slow now because we are carrying the salt and the battery. I'm going to drop through here. There we go. Water is done. I'm going to drop the salt. Sort by weight here. Okay, I saw in our inventory we do have a little bit of mushrooms, but we don't have quite enough to make the tea yet. Anyway, water is done, right? Let's do one more batch. I'm just going to let it burn off, I think. Not like the water will boil while we're sleeping. I do want to get the bunk bed. We're going to bring it down here. So I've gone into the customization mode where you can actually grab items, move them around. We're going to bring one of the beds closer to the fire barrel. Down the stairs. Yeah, maybe just, I don't know, like right here for now. Put our head that way. Okay, we're going to sleep there for tonight. I think we're ready to call it. Should be able to sleep for 10 hours. I'm actually going to pick these up just to help get tired. It does make our tiredness go down, I think, a little bit more. Maybe not. I do want to make sure we're tired enough to sleep for 10 hours because healing is exponential. There we go. Now we got 3 arrows going down when I jog. Healing is exponential, guys. So that means sleeping for the last hour is much more health regained than the first hour. You know, it just goes up and up. So we should be tired enough now. I'm going to drop this salt.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Okay, water will be done soon. Actually, you know, let's see. 19 minutes. Ooh, you know, I think it'll be okay. Let's just go to sleep. Okay, so before we go to sleep, we got to make sure we have enough calories or we're going to take damage. So, let's eat this. Oh, pork and beans. I need to cook those. Actually, hold on. I'm going to smash these open. If we heat these up, we get a cooking skill point. But also, I think we get a little bit more calories from that. I'm going to wait for the other items. Hopefully we can find a can opener. But anyway, let's eat this and go to sleep. Okay. And the water is almost done. There we go. Water is done. Pick up our can. And we're ready for sleep. All right. Got to keep eating until we have enough calories. So we're going to eat some ketchup chips. And we technically should have enough to go to sleep. Let's drink. Yep, we got enough. So I'll see you guys in 10 hours. See you in the morning. All right, good morning. You can see how much we've healed. And we're just barely before being thirsty and barely before being hungry, which is pretty impressive how we timed that. So we're going to get a drink. I will go hungry, guys. So this is a little controversial, what I'm about to tell you here. But we're going to suffer. We're going to be hungry. And there's two camps when it comes to this ideology. We can just eat all this food we have. You know, why wouldn't we eat this? We're so hungry. We've got this food. Well, I will tell you why. The first camp says, yes, go ahead and eat it, because if you can stay well fed for a few days, you actually get a bonus. You can carry more weight and you get a little bit of a perk to your health. The problem with that is you have to maintain your health. So once you get that well-fed bonus, if you go hungry even once, you lose it. Okay? I don't think I have enough food to keep me well-fed for a few days, at least not yet. And so I don't want to waste this food. If I eat it now, yes, it's going to save on my carrying weight, but the problem is I don't think I can maintain well-fed yet. So here's the other option is we take damage all day long, and then when we go to sleep, we eat enough where we can heal during the nighttime. And that is usually the way it's done, at least until you have enough food. So anyway, at my skill level, I think it's best if I just wait. We're going to do the starvation tactic, I think is what they call that. Actually, yeah, I did miss some items here. Let's see what we have. It'd be nice if we found a hacksaw, actually. Don't know what it is with all these batteries. What were they doing here? Trying to bring the whales back to life like Frankenstein with car batteries or something. Did I miss anything else? Well, guys, as I said, this morning, I think we're going to head over to the cave with the wolf. And then we got to figure out what to do from there. So, should be an exciting morning. Anyway, if you've made it this far into episode 1, guys, please, I need your help. Please, press the like button. Help me out. Leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. But if you wouldn't mind, guys, this is probably the only time I'll ask you to hype this video. It's going to help me to attract new viewers to this amazing game. So if you can, leave some hype on this very first episode. But most importantly, I do hope to catch you in the next episode. Take care.